Yamaha Motor Company has long stood as a titan in the world of two-wheeled innovation, blending performance, style, and reliability into machines that have captivated riders for decades. But the motorcycle world was sent into a tailspin when CEO Yoshihiro Hidaka took the stage at a long-anticipated press conference in Tokyo and delivered what many are calling the most groundbreaking announcement in the company's history. With a calm yet commanding presence, Hidaka outlined a radical new direction that effectively redefines what motorcycles can and will be in the coming years. And his words sent shockwaves rippling through every corner of the global motorcycle industry. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The revelation wasn't just about a new model or even a new technology. It was a sweeping declaration that Yamaha is fundamentally altering its approach to motorcycle design, production, and market positioning. Hidaka announced that Yamaha would be pivoting away from traditional internal combustion engine ICE motorcycles entirely, with the goal of becoming a fully electric motorcycle manufacturer within the next decade. This is not merely a gradual integration of electric models alongside petrol-powered bikes. It's a full-scale commitment to transition the entire two-wheeled lineup to electric powertrains, starting immediately. No hybrid models, no side-by-side development tracks. A total shift. For an industry that has seen innovation come in fits and starts, often constrained by regulation, consumer conservatism, and infrastructure limitations, this was a cannon blast. Yamaha is not only one of the top motorcycle producers in the world, it's also a trendsetter whose decisions reverberate through supply chains, dealership networks, racing circuits, and enthusiast communities. The implications of this pivot are vast. With this announcement, Hidaka is placing Yamaha in direct competition with emerging electric-only brands like Zero Motorcycles and Energica, while simultaneously challenging legacy giants like Honda, Suzuki, and Kawasaki to rethink their roadmaps or risk irrelevance. What makes this announcement particularly disruptive is not just the boldness of the transition, but the scope of its execution. Yamaha isn't merely planning to introduce electric versions of existing models. Instead, Hidaka detailed an ambitious vision of completely new electric motorcycle platforms developed from the ground up. These bikes will not be retrofits of current models, but rather fresh designs that embrace the unique capabilities and aesthetics of electric power. With the internal combustion engine no longer dictating the bike's architecture, Yamaha's engineers are free to reimagine frame geometry, weight distribution, and even rider ergonomics. Early concept sketches showcased during the presentation hinted at sleeker silhouettes, hubless wheel designs, and modular battery systems, all futuristic elements that signal a new era of motorcycle design. Equally stunning was the reveal of Yamaha's proprietary solid-state battery technology, which the company claims will solve many of the most pressing issues facing electric motorcycles today, namely range anxiety and charging time. Hidaka declared that their new battery design will allow for a minimum of 250 miles on a single charge with a full recharge time of less than 30 minutes using standard fast-charging infrastructure. That level of performance, if delivered as promised, would shatter current expectations and make electric motorcycles truly viable, not only for urban commuters but also for long-distance riders and touring enthusiasts. But technology is only part of the puzzle. Hidaka's announcement also tackled Yamaha's global manufacturing and supply chain strategy. The company will begin phasing out ICE engine production lines in its key factories starting next year. This means a complete overhaul of manufacturing facilities in Japan, Thailand, India, and other regions where Yamaha has a strong industrial presence. It's a colossal undertaking that involves not just machinery, but retraining tens of thousands of employees, establishing new supplier relationships, and investing in advanced robotics and battery assembly techniques. The announcement touched on Yamaha's plan to vertically integrate its battery production process, ensuring that it maintains control over both quality and scalability. Rather than relying solely on third-party suppliers for battery cells, Yamaha will be building gigafactories in key locations across Asia and Europe, designed specifically for the high-volume output of its proprietary battery packs. This level of control is crucial for cost management and innovation, allowing Yamaha to iterate quickly and adapt to evolving battery technologies. There was also a notable emphasis on sustainability and environmental stewardship. While other companies may tout carbon neutrality as a long-term goal, Yamaha is aiming for full carbon-neutral operations, across its motorcycle division by 2035. This includes not just the vehicles themselves, but also the entire manufacturing process, from raw material extraction to assembly and delivery. The company has already begun forming partnerships with eco-conscious suppliers and has invested in blockchain-based tracking systems to ensure transparency in its environmental claims. Perhaps the most surprising element of the announcement was the extent to which Yamaha is integrating artificial intelligence and smart connectivity into its upcoming electric lineup. Hidaka introduced a new digital interface, codenamed Y-Link, which will become the brain of every Yamaha electric motorcycle moving forward. This system promises real-time diagnostics, predictive maintenance, adaptive ride modes based on rider behavior, and even integration with smart cities infrastructure. Riders will be able to customize everything from torque delivery to lighting preferences via a smartphone app, creating a level of personalization never before seen in mainstream motorcycles. There's also a heavy push toward autonomous safety features. Hidaka revealed that Yamaha has been quietly developing an advanced rider assist system, drawing inspiration from automotive technologies like Tesla's autopilot and Honda's rider assist. While full autonomy isn't the goal, after all, riding is about control and connection. These features aim to reduce accidents by assisting in emergency braking, lane stability, and blind spot detection. The company is aiming to introduce semi-autonomous functionalities in its higher-end models within the next 3 years, making riding safer without stripping it of its excitement. The timing of the announcement is also crucial. The motorcycle industry has been under mounting pressure to decarbonize, with governments around the world imposing stricter emission standards and offering incentives for electric vehicles. Yamaha's bold leap allows it to not only comply with emerging regulations, but to lead the narrative. It puts pressure on competitors who may have been dragging their feet or hedging their bets on hybrid approaches. With Hidaka's declaration, the slow transition period that many expected over the next 2 decades is being compressed into a single decisive movement. Dealerships will face immediate consequences. The traditional showroom model, where petrol-powered bikes are displayed, serviced, and sold, will have to adapt rapidly. Yamaha is rolling out a digital-first retail strategy in tandem with its electric push. This includes augmented reality showrooms, at-home test ride services, and a subscription-based ownership model that completely redefines the buyer relationship. Riders will be able to pay monthly for access to various models, swapping bikes depending on their needs, commuting during the week, adventure touring on the weekend, all managed through an intuitive online platform. Racing, long a showcase for Yamaha's engineering prowess, is also being transformed. While MotoGP may still run on internal combustion engines, Yamaha announced the formation of a new all-electric racing division with plans to debut a full grid of electric sport bikes in a yet-to-be-named global racing series. These bikes, designed with a focus on power-to-weight ratio and advanced aerodynamics, are expected to exceed 200 horsepower while maintaining the lightweight, agile character that Yamaha sport bikes are known for. The move is set to inspire a new generation of racers and fans, and could serve as the proving ground for the electric innovations destined for road bikes. Market analysts are already trying to recalibrate their projections. With this move, Yamaha has essentially shifted the center of gravity in the motorcycle world. Electric vehicles have, until now, remained a niche within the motorcycle market, largely confined to urban scooters or expensive boutique offerings. By committing its full weight and credibility to the sector, Yamaha is accelerating a tipping point. Investors, suppliers, and even governments are watching closely, as this could signal a cascade effect across the industry. Riders themselves are facing a moment of reflection. The roar of a Yamaha Inline 4 or the thump of a V-twin has been part of the soul of motorcycling for decades. The transition to electric raises questions about what riding means in a world of silent acceleration and algorithm-managed performance. But Yamaha seems aware of this, and Hidaka spoke to the emotional connection between rider and machine. He emphasized that electric doesn't mean emotionless. Through customizable sound profiles, haptic feedback, and real-time ride analytics, Yamaha intends to preserve the thrill, intimacy, and artistry of motorcycling in its new electric form. Moreover, the accessibility of these future bikes is being prioritized. Yamaha plans to launch a tiered pricing strategy that spans from affordable commuter models to high-performance machines. This isn't an elite transition, it's a mass-market transformation. By democratizing access to electric performance, Yamaha is ensuring that its loyal customer base isn't left behind in the shift, while also attracting a broader demographic of environmentally conscious, tech-savvy new riders. With this announcement, Yoshihiro Hidaka has not merely repositioned Yamaha, he's redrawn the map. The company's new course demands a complete rethink from every stakeholder in the motorcycle ecosystem. It forces insurers to consider how they'll cover AI-assisted vehicles. It pushes municipalities to expand charging infrastructure. It compels riders to reconsider what they want from their bikes and manufacturers to speed up their own electric agendas, or risk being left in the dust. For decades, Yamaha has been a symbol of engineering precision, performance elegance, and cultural cool. With Hidaka's bold proclamation, that symbol is being redefined, not discarded, but reborn. The combustion engine may have fueled Yamaha's past, but electricity, intelligence, and ecological responsibility are now shaping its future. The motorcycle market as the world knew it no longer exists in the same way. It has been cracked wide open by a declaration not just of intent, but of purpose. And as the shockwaves continue to ripple through boardrooms, garages, and city streets alike, one thing is certain: Yamaha didn't just make an announcement, it detonated a revolution. Yoshihiro Hidaka's bombshell declaration did more than set a new direction for Yamaha. It pulled the entire industry into a gravity well of transformation. As the dust began to settle from the initial revelation, insiders and observers began to unpack the broader implications, realizing that this was not merely a corporate pivot, but the ignition of a systemic upheaval in transportation, manufacturing philosophy, and rider culture. The layer to unravel is the domino effect across Yamaha's global partnerships. Yamaha has long maintained a sprawling ecosystem of collaborators: engine suppliers, aftermarket part manufacturers, software developers, and performance tuners, all of whom now face the imperative to evolve or become obsolete. With the combustion engine being phased out, suppliers of traditional components such as fuel injection systems, exhaust assemblies, and transmissions are confronting a reckoning. The elimination of complex drivetrain components in electric motorcycles means a contraction in the scope of hardware partnerships and a simultaneous expansion in software and electronics demands. This shift brings to the forefront a new set of players: tech firms, semiconductor manufacturers, AI specialists, and battery chemists. Yamaha's new development model will be deeply intertwined with high-tech industries, placing companies like Panasonic, Sony, and potentially even Nvidia or Qualcomm in closer proximity to motorcycle development than ever before. With vehicles becoming rolling computers on wheels, the emphasis is shifting from torque curves and gear ratios to firmware updates and neural networks. Hidaka's vision suggests a complete remapping of what kind of expertise holds value in the two-wheeled future. Nowhere will this be felt more profoundly than in Yamaha's R&D approach. Historically, motorcycle development revolved around mechanical engineering excellence. How efficiently one could extract horsepower from displacement, how finely tuned suspension geometry could be perfected. That dynamic has been fundamentally altered. Now the leading edge lies in algorithmic suspension calibration, regenerative braking logic, thermal management systems for battery packs, and machine learning applications that adapt to each rider's unique inputs. Yamaha is building entirely new R&D centers geared toward electric and AI development. These centers are expected to be staffed not just by engineers and designers, but by data scientists, user interface specialists, and even cognitive psychologists. In the future, Hidaka envisions, riding a Yamaha motorcycle will not be a static experience but an evolving relationship, where the machine learns the rider and reshapes itself accordingly. The old world engineering lab, filled with dynos and test tracks, is being augmented with digital twin simulations, cloud-based telemetry analysis, and virtual testing environments. Another layer of impact arises in the realm of ownership and community. Motorcycle culture has always been built around a visceral connection to machinery, tuning carbs, changing oil, swapping exhausts. But the emerging era reframes that entirely. With fewer moving parts and software-defined performance parameters, the wrench is giving way to the smartphone. Riders will interact with their machines not just through handlebars and foot pegs, but through touchscreen dashboards and cloud-connected ride profiles. This evolution will alienate some traditionalists while attracting a new generation of riders raised on technology, convenience, and customization. Hidaka's strategy includes fostering a digital-first community around this new wave of machines. Yamaha is launching an integrated digital ecosystem, an app-based platform that connects riders across the globe, offering over-the-air firmware upgrades, shared ride data, personalized coaching tips, and even gamified experiences where users can earn points or achievements for riding challenges. Community building, long and organic process facilitated through clubs and events, is now being curated into a global, digitized network that ties riders together regardless of geography. This new communal infrastructure feeds into a larger strategic repositioning, turning Yamaha not just into a motorcycle manufacturer, but into a mobility lifestyle brand. The future product lineup will not stop at motorcycles. Hidaka confirmed that Yamaha is actively developing a suite of electric mobility products, including personal electric vehicles, autonomous delivery drones, and even high-performance electric bicycles, all connected through a unified platform. Each of these devices will share design language, interoperability, and user experience frameworks, enabling a seamless ecosystem of movement solutions tailored to urban, suburban, and even recreational contexts. Education and outreach are also being reshaped. Yamaha plans to build urban experience centers where potential riders can learn about electric motorcycling without the traditional barriers to entry. These facilities will feature virtual reality ride simulators, test tracks, battery education labs, and community workshops, all designed to demystify the technology and welcome newcomers into the fold. For a generation that may never have touched a clutch lever, this is an invitation to explore riding in a completely different paradigm. Yamaha's move also has geopolitical implications. Electric mobility is deeply entangled with national infrastructure and policy planning. By staking its claim early and loudly, Yamaha positions itself as a strategic partner to governments trying to meet emissions goals, develop smart cities, and reduce traffic congestion. Hidaka confirmed ongoing negotiations with urban planners in Tokyo, Singapore, Berlin, and Los Angeles, with Yamaha offering to help design integrated micro-mobility systems that incorporate their upcoming fleet of EVs. In this capacity, Yamaha transcends its legacy as a consumer brand and becomes an active stakeholder in urban development. Meanwhile, the transformation within Yamaha's own corporate structure is profound. Such a radical shift demands not only technical innovation, but also a cultural one. Departments historically siloed, engineering, marketing, IT, logistics, must now work in deeply interconnected ways. The company is instituting cross-functional teams and agile development cycles more common in the software industry than traditional manufacturing. Product cycles are being shortened from 4-year roadmaps to 18-month iterations. Design thinking and user-centered development are becoming the new norms, replacing the top-down model of feature development that dominated in the ICE era. Even the idea of a flagship product is being reconsidered. In the past, Yamaha's apex models like the YZF R1 or MT10 represented the peak of engineering prowess. Now, flagship status may be defined not by horsepower alone, but by system integration, interface intelligence, and adaptability. The electric equivalent of the R1 may boast facial recognition ignition, real-time adaptive suspension based on road data, and voice-controlled performance toggling, all features that redefine what elite riding means in the 21st century. Hidaka's move also forces a reconsideration of Yamaha's global brand identity. Known for its strong roots in Japanese craftsmanship and performance heritage, Yamaha is now embracing a sleeker, more avant-garde image. Upcoming product teasers reveal minimalist designs with bold light signatures, aerodynamic frames devoid of traditional mechanical flourishes, and branding that leans into the digital and sustainable, subtle neon motifs, textured surfaces designed to age gracefully, and customizable skins that blend physical and digital aesthetics. This marks a deliberate departure from the mechanical masterpiece image toward a mobility canvas approach that invites expression and interaction. One of the most fascinating implications of Hidaka's announcement is how it could reshape rider skill development. Riding an electric motorcycle with AI-enhanced assistance systems, one that monitors lean angle, acceleration patterns, and even rider posture in real time, will introduce an entirely new form of coaching and progression. Yamaha is planning to integrate virtual training modules directly into their vehicles. New riders could practice in a gamified AR environment with coaching overlays on their HUD, while experienced riders might receive nuanced analytics breaking down their cornering line or braking efficiency post-ride. This real-time feedback loop opens up new educational pathways, potentially disrupting rider schools, licensing models, and insurance underwriting. Yamaha is already in talks with regulators in Japan and the EU to certify these training tools as valid components of motorcycle licensing programs. If successful, it could dramatically lower the barrier to entry for would-be riders while increasing safety and skill acquisition. Another overlooked yet critical implication is the psychological shift required in the market. For over a century, motorcycles have carried a specific cultural weight. The sound, the vibration, the visceral physicality. Stripping away these sensory pillars demands that something equally powerful takes their place. Yamaha is responding by emphasizing what it calls the electro-emotive interface, a synthesis of haptics, immersive lighting, personalized audio cues, and rider-responsive dynamics. It's not just about replacing the old sensations, but cultivating entirely new ones. Riders will still feel excitement, but through kinetic silence, precision acceleration, and a deeper connection with an intelligent machine. This raises the bar for experiential design. Every touchpoint, from how the rider unlocks the bike, to how the machine communicates issues, to how it adjusts during a ride, must feel intuitive, elegant, and satisfying. Yamaha's design teams are borrowing from luxury tech, high fashion, and even neuroscience to craft a riding experience that seduces not just through speed, but through interaction, anticipation, and responsiveness. What cannot be overstated is the ripple effect across Yamaha's competitors. While some may accelerate their EV programs in response, others will be caught flat-footed. Smaller brands that lack the capital to pivot quickly could find themselves pushed to the margins. Market consolidation may follow, with electric-centric startups becoming acquisition targets for legacy brands looking to catch up. Strategic alliances are also likely to proliferate. Yamaha's declaration will force even stubborn holdouts to acknowledge that the age of electric motorcycles is not coming, it's here. At the same time, aftermarket industries will be reborn. The tuner culture of the electric age won't revolve around swapping out cams and pistons, but around firmware tuning, display customization, modular accessory packs, and AI behavior scripting. Third-party developers might begin creating plugins for Yamaha's Y-Link system, offering everything from curated ride playlists to custom dashboard animations and ride-sharing integrations. A new ecosystem of digital customization is poised to emerge, one that appeals as much to coders and UX designers as it does to traditional gearheads. Hidaka's vision is, in many ways, a gamble. It places immense faith in technology, infrastructure, and consumer readiness, but it's also rooted in a long-term strategic calculus. The generational shift toward climate responsibility, digital fluidity, and personalized technology experiences aligns with Yamaha's trajectory. Rather than playing defense, the company is playing offense, asserting leadership not only in the product category, but in the philosophy of personal transportation. What comes next is not merely a new bike launch or a quarterly earnings surge. It's a new era where a motorcycle is no longer just a vehicle. It's a digital companion, a mobility node, a lifestyle interface, and a data-rich experience engine. Hidaka's declaration detonated more than market expectations. It obliterated the constraints of tradition, opening the door to possibilities previously unimagined in the motorcycle world. This is the turning point, an irreversible pivot where the past will always be respected but no longer revisited. The engine's roar fades into memory, replaced by the electric hum of innovation, connectivity, and bold vision. Yamaha has chosen its future. Now the rest of the world must catch up. As the industry continues to absorb the enormity of Yamaha's seismic shift under Yoshihiro Hidaka's leadership, a deeper examination reveals another equally critical aspect of the transformation: the redefinition of value in motorcycling. In an electric-first paradigm, the metrics that once determined a motorcycle's worth, displacement, horsepower, torque figures, and top-end speed, begin to take a back seat to different measurements of performance, intelligence, sustainability, and integration. Yamaha's strategy effectively rewrites the consumer's checklist and forces a new lens through which desirability is measured. In the new hierarchy, efficiency, adaptability, and data responsiveness take center stage. Riders will increasingly seek out motorcycles not just for mechanical performance, but for how seamlessly they fit into the broader landscape of their digital lives. Yamaha's embrace of software-defined vehicles makes this possible. Through its planned use of modular firmware and dynamic control algorithms, each motorcycle will be less a static product and more a platform, capable of growing with its owner, evolving through updates and feature expansions over time. In essence, Yamaha's electric motorcycles are becoming living learning machines. This approach also carries significant implications for resale value and longevity. Traditional motorcycles often depreciate as newer models introduce incremental hardware improvements. But Yamaha's electric platforms, powered by updatable systems, challenge that life cycle. A 2-year-old model can be given a performance boost, receive safety enhancements, or even adopt new user interfaces through software patches. This could redefine how riders approach ownership, with value retention becoming a function of software currency as much as physical condition. Additionally, the shift reframes Yamaha's role not merely as a manufacturer, but as a curator of experiences. Hidaka's roadmap includes the introduction of tailored ride packages that can be purchased digitally, akin to downloadable content in the gaming world. A touring package might include range-optimizing algorithms, scenic route suggestions via GPS integration, and expanded luggage system control. A sport package could include real-time lean angle telemetry, lap time analysis tools, and dynamic suspension profiles optimized for track days. These microtransactions signal a new monetization model that sits alongside traditional sales, giving Yamaha a continuous revenue stream post-purchase. This transformation demands a complete rethinking of rider engagement and loyalty. Instead of one-time purchasers, Yamaha will be cultivating subscribers, riders who are constantly connected to the brand through app ecosystems, upgrade pathways, and cloud services. The company is already in the process of launching Yamaha ID, a unified login system that ties every interaction, from motorcycle telemetry to customer support to e-commerce, into a single digital identity. Riders will have persistent profiles that follow them across devices and vehicles, enabling highly personalized experiences that travel with them, even as they change bikes or locations. At the retail level, this strategic direction is upending the dealership model. Where traditional showrooms were focused on physical inventory and service bays, Yamaha's next-generation dealerships are designed as digital experience centers. These venues will emphasize immersive education, community integration, and lifestyle branding over rows of parked motorcycles. Staff will shift from being mechanical experts to digital concierges, capable of walking customers through software features, compatibility with smart homes, integration with wearables, and subscription management. The retail floor becomes less of a warehouse and more of a stage, a curated environment where Yamaha's vision of mobility can be lived, not just observed. Meanwhile, the implications for Yamaha's racing pedigree are just as profound. While racing has always served as both proving ground and marketing engine for motorcycle innovation, the electric era forces a reorientation of priorities. Traditional racing categories, built around combustion performance metrics, won't accommodate the data-centric, efficiency-driven nature of electric performance. That's why Yamaha's announcement of an entirely new, internally developed electric racing series signals more than just sporting ambition. It's a redefinition of what competitive excellence looks like. This new series will emphasize energy management, AI-assisted strategy, and thermal balancing under extreme performance conditions. Yamaha's electric sport bikes, designed from the ground up for the track, will offer interchangeable battery packs and dynamically adjustable aerodynamics controlled in real time by predictive software. Rather than focusing purely on raw speed, the competition will also measure a rider's ability to interface with their machine's intelligent systems. Tactics, data literacy, and collaborative machine learning may very well define the champions of this new league. This evolution also sets the stage for a fusion between esports and motorsports. With every electric Yamaha motorcycle logging immense amounts of ride data, riders could upload their telemetry and participate in virtual competitions. Imagine global leaderboards ranking the most efficient urban rider in Paris, the smoothest cornering in Rio, or the fastest regen braking adaptation in Seoul. Yamaha's platform can support both physical and digital challenges, blurring the line between road and simulation, between competition and participation. As Yamaha steps deeper into the electric frontier, the question of sound, a historically inseparable part of motorcycle identity, becomes more than just a matter of nostalgia. It becomes a creative opportunity. Without the mechanical growl of an engine, a blank canvas emerges. Yamaha, with its rich heritage in musical instruments, is uniquely positioned to innovate here. The company is developing customizable synthetic engine sounds generated through a digital sound module, allowing riders to select or even compose their own auditory riding experience. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Yamaha's shocking announcement? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.